Also, beautiful family, we are back with another one, right? And we are going to be breaking down the trade setup, which was a crazy banger for the week, right? So we actually did smash a couple of flips, right? Which I did test right here in the community. We smashed a 100 to 5K, and we did a $135 all the way to 600, right? So right here is practically the trade result for every single account connected to the trade copier. And yeah, this is a particular trade setup where we actually did take $100 all the way to 5K. And we did say, we did state it earlier on Monday that this was our flip target for the week, right? So this was the trade setup right here. And this was the interest, right? And we are practically leveraging on our broker with a very crazy access to over 3,000 plus in leverage, right? So I'm literally going to break down this entire setup and how you can be able to like do this deal. And again, if you're new to this particular YouTube channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. And click on the link in this particular video description to be part of our free Telegram community if you have not been. All right, so far this is the chart, and this was the setup we used in carrying out this particular flip, right? So for the week, we actually did have over two failed setups, and then we actually did have this banger, right? So we actually did stay out for the most part as price failed to present a very valid setup, right? Now we did actually did take a 300 all the way to 900 of this particular shot and this particular zone, right? Which was done on every single copy trading account. So I'm literally going to break down this particular trade. This is more like our scalp setups, right? So you get to like see what it looks like and know how you can be able to like replicate this on your account. So for the start, right, we actually did not need the presence of the weekly or the daily or whatever, right? Taking a look at this, we actually did understand that we frame our levels of the 4 hour if we are looking to scalp, right? So in this particular event, we can see the presence of we can literally see the presence of this 4 hour engulfing candle. So we actually do scalp of 4 hour engulfing candles, right? And this is not done blindly as these levels actually do set a pace for us to frame our bias for short-term trades. And at the same time, we actually want to make sure we make use of extra confirmations, right? In order to avoid jumping in too early and at the same time taking unnecessary losses, right? So how did I go about this? So during the early hours of the day, this was practically on Wednesday, right? We actually did see price close as a bullish engulfing candle after we caught sales from this point all the way to the downside. As you did see right there in the free Telegram community, this trade was sent in right there. So we actually do have this bullish engulfing candle, and if I scale all the way to the 30 minutes, right? So the 30 minutes right there, we actually did have the presence of a blind spot, right? So for you who don't understand what the blind spot is, I actually did make some YouTube videos breaking this down. So we actually did say the presence of price drop, give a bullish candle, a bearish candle, and continuous drop, right? So if you take a look at this, this is what we actually do same price, okay? Now this particular structure is not really clean. So if I scale all the way to the 15 minutes time frame, we actually want to see the presence of a clean pattern, right? So switching to the 15 minutes time frame, this is more like a QML. Okay, so a QML, I did actually break this down also in the free Telegram community, right? So this is a QML, and to make things cleaner, right? We actually did see this straight pulse rally, a pulse right here, and continuous rally. Okay. Now the reason I actually did make use of this demand level instead of this was because of the fact that in respect to a QML, right, we did see it below this particular level, hence we actually did make use of this. Now, this is the plot twist. This was not a clean setup. This was not the best setup out there. But, like we actually needed to, like, bring in our other tools or arsenals, right, to be able to, like, play this. Now, after price tapped into this, right, we are not meant to jump in right away. We are not meant to like hop in right away, right? All we needed to do was to wait for a confirmation to be able to like play this, right? So in order to do this, I actually just move all the way to the 5 minutes time frame. Now, as I did say, if you switch all the way to the line chart, this is particularly a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then price drop all the way to the downside, right? Before it meets this push all the way to the upside. And you can see this, or we can call this a shoulder right here, a head, and then price coming back all the way to retest this, right? So some persons can see this as a very dirty one, okay? This is not really a clean shoulder head and shoulder reversal pattern, right? But like this was a valid level also. Now with price being in this 15-minute zone, right? All I needed to do right now was to wait for my confirmation, right? Or let's say move to the intermediate time frame where I actually want to play this confirmation, right? So again, if you're new to this particular YouTube channel, don't forget to click on the link in this particular video description to be able to see our flips and then be part of this flips which is being done right there in the community, right? So right here, we actually did see price drop all the way to this particular downside impulsively. And whatever price we are looking out for, we are looking out to see take out the 4-hour engulfing high. Okay. This is literally where we are looking to see this, right? Now, this does not necessarily mean I'm going to hold all the way to this upside, as I always have um, a fixed target and a stop loss value, right? I always make use of a 25 pip stop loss in order to go for a 1:5 that is over 120, right? So let's say this is what we actually have right here. We see price tapped into this. And in this particular scenario right here, same pattern was present, right? We did see price give us a valid structural change, right? Which I won't consider this as a structural change right here on this particular time frame, but we can see price drop all the way to the downside and rejected, right? Now, one thing I look out for in respect to my confirmations, right? In every single zone I do take is the presence of engulfing candles, right? If I'm looking to take a buy, an engulfing candle has to be present for every single trade level, right? So the easiest structural change which I did play right here is this, right? So we did see that price actually did give us this push all the way to the upside, came back down, okay, tapped back into this particular level. Now, with price tapping back all the way to this particular level, right, we needed to see a clean structural change, right, and not just anyone. So let's take a look at what price did present right here. So in this particular zone, we did see that price made a lower low, lower high, okay, and lower low, and then this is a lower high. Now, price actually did drop all the way to the downside, straight up. Now, this is a clean structural change, and at the same time, the second confluence which you're having right here is the presence of this shoulder head shoulder pattern. Okay, and at the same time, if you're an advanced trader, you should understand this is a QML pattern, right? This is particularly a Quasimodo, which also signals reversals. All right, so like with price giving us this structural change, we actually have two confluences for this particular buy. We actually have this demand zone, which is nested in this particular QML, and we actually have the presence of this shoulder right here, okay, and this is a head pattern, and this is price coming back into this, straight back into this demand level, okay, which is practically aligning with the entire 4-hour bullish structure of our bullish engulfing candle. So the engulfing candle is there to set the pace, okay, where the intermediate time frame does the confirmations, right, and we scale in with extra confirmations. So with price giving me this particular confluences, right, all I needed to do at this particular zone was to, like make sure I'm literally on point still, right? So this is just a very easy way I do approach the market, and you can literally do this, right? So this is a step-by-step guide. First step, our engulfing candles, bullish or bearish engulfing candle, right? And this is for scalping. And second step is to actually identify the presence of a significant structural play there. It can be any reversal pattern in play, right? And the third step you actually want to do is to like play a lower time frame structural change in line with that particular level. So we actually did get price tap into this demand on the 5 minutes time frame. Okay. So this was a clean tap into this particular level. So if I did like copying right here, it would have been better, right? But now since we actually did want to flip, all we needed to do right now was to make sure we look out for continuation setups present all the way on in this particular trend, right? Since this is something we actually look out to see, we actually look out to see expansion. So it means I will be looking to scalp my way all the way to the upside. Okay. So it's getting all the way to the 1 minute time frame. All right. So with this right here, we did have the 5 minutes demand. and scaling all the way to the 1 minute right here, we can see this was a clean 1 minute structure, right? So the first thing or the first job is to actually like map or scaling right here impulsively, right? So we actually can scaling right here impulsively. And if you go back to what I did say right there in the community, we actually did see where this entire first entry was starting, right? This is where we actually did scaling the first entry. But now, if you're looking to do this, right, we actually do have the presence of what where you could literally stack in the first entry. So you could literally like play in the first aggressive entry right here, okay, with price expanding all the way to the upside, quick scalp straight up to this particular high, and then closing out the first set of scalps, right, which is to grow or add a buffer to the account. Right now, this does not necessarily mean you can't actually hold all the way to the upside, but as a scalper, as I did say, you literally have a whole lot of buffer to play off, right, or levels to play off, right? So breaking these entire levels down, first entry taken at this particular point, which has a precision spot on with zero drawdown, right? And price expands all the way to the upside aggressively. Now we actually do have the presence of a second entry, which is price giving us a blind spot right here. Okay, now, we actually do have the presence of price tapping into this particular level. As you can see right here, price tapping into this particular level and then it gave a further expansion all the way to the upside, right? So we actually have first entry here, second entry at this particular point, and this is what to do. Since we actually do have a whole lot of like levels to play off right here, we actually do have key level, and price already did make use of this, right? It's going to be wise to say that I wouldn't be looking to like, make use of any level right here. I would practically switch all the way to the 5 minutes time frame, right? So on the 5 minutes time frame, I am literally going to be making use of the next structural play on the 5 minutes. So on the 5 minutes right here, we can see that after price expansion all the way to the upside, remember we had first entry right here, second entry right here, and we're waiting for the third entry. That means we've closed that on this, we've closed that on this. Waiting on this right here, price pulls back into this. So we've actually had a cleaner entry right here, okay? Entry right here, and then I'm literally going to make use of the 1 minute demand present at that particular area, okay, to be able to, have a precise reversal. So this is what we actually do have in price. All right, so we actually see the presence of a 1 minute demand, okay, aligning with the 5 minutes key level. Now price started giving a crazy expansion to the upside. Now we can decide to like hold this all the way to the upside, right? And as we did say, we actually have no cleaner level right here to play off. Unless we actually did see price pull back into the same level, which is where we actually pretty much did have the second entry coming from. Okay, for you who actually did see the second flip entry, which is practically what I'm literally going to show right now. We did see this 15 minutes level. This was a 5 minutes with a 1 minute entry, right? So this was where we actually did take the account all the way to 5K. We did a 100 to 1,000, and then we did a 1,000, which we were not able to close all the way at 1,000. We did a 900 plus all the way to 5K, right? As we can see right here in this particular screenshot. So again, if you're new to this particular channel, don't forget to click on the link in this particular video description to be part of our free Telegram community, right? So we actually did have the re-entry right here, which on the 5 minutes is clearly showing that price was retesting a 5 minutes level. Okay, so this is it. We actually did have this 5 minutes level right, as I did say earlier on. If we scroll all the way to the 1 minute time frame, we can see we actually did have price also run into a 1 minute supply, a 1 minute demand, right? Before a crazy expansion all the way to the upside. So a whole lot of things come into play, but at the same time, right, it's literally an easy peasy right there. So when we actually cut this trade, right, we cut it off this particular level. We literally cut this off this particular level, right? Here we stacked all the way in because this is a 1 minute demand. We stacked all the way in and then price expanded, right? And we were able to like smash this. So this is literally all an easy peasy. And then the same thing goes on over and over again. So again, if you're new to this particular YouTube channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, okay, for more crazy flips breakdown. And also, if you're looking to be part of our free Telegram community, you can also click on the link in this particular video description to join or be part of us, right? See you all on the next slide. And again, more flips coming. So we'll see you guys on the other side.